that bell was so perfectly timed. It just, but that came out of TradingView. That's definitely me whistling. Shout out to everybody here on the live. Thank you for jumping on in. Appreciate each and every one of you for jumping on in on a Saturday night. Do we have some gains to show you? I'm excited to get it in. We got something coming your way, and you should be excited for it. I cannot wait to show you. Let's do it, baby. Let's do it. Let's bring down that music. Let's run into the intro. Let's have a blast like we do every single day on this channel. To the lifers, may God bless you all. Thank you so much for coming on in. Shout out to everybody here on the live. Thank you for jumping on in. Let's go on Saturday night. Let's get the energy up. Let's go. Woo. Sorry. Ooh, man. Now, man, I got this thing. Hold on. This never happens. Hold on 1 second. Give me 1 second. I'm going to have to, like, cycle my camera. This is crazy. Of course. Never see this happen on my live where the camera flashes. But I think that'll be annoying all day. I could just probably cut that off, but we may actually lose the camera at one point. I don't know why it does that. Sometimes I just have to disconnect it from the actual source. Flip it back on. That's what happens when you're on your own tech guy, right? You can get it done. As soon as you need it done, you can get it done. There you go. That's going to be it. I might have hit that focus, which I think I did. So, and remember, when you focus, you're further away than when you actually focus. You have to grab the object and put it where you're going to be, and then focus on that. Then you step into frame. There, you should be into focus, right? There you go. All right. Shout out to everybody here on the live. It was raining out there, too. I just had to step out for a second. Jeez, Louise. All right, let's get the music back up and running. Shout out to everybody here on the live. May God bless each and every one of you for being here and sharing your most precious asset with me. And that is your time, right? Let's break it down. Let's look at Bitcoin. Shout out to everybody here. Shout out to ITrust Capital. A really great place to start an IRA, Roth IRA, or move your IRA that you have right now. All right, ITrust Capital supporting the channel. You got to love them. Hit the link or the QR code, you know. And what makes them unique is you can buy and sell cryptocurrencies in there tax-free. And that can become like a nest egg that you have later on in life that could, you know, something that would just absolutely blow your mind. So, you know, let's take a look. Bitcoin getting bought up like you read about. People just flooding into Bitcoin. A lot of Litecoin getting bought up. A lot of Ethereum, a lot of buying on the weekends, a lot of hodling, a lot of long-term DCAing on the weekends. People, you know, finally have some time to focus, and they buy the coins that they want. If you were watching my trading group, and you were in my trading group, I kept talking about JOYSTREAM over and over again. Why? Well, it had a big, first, we put it up here. We started getting into JOYSTREAM down here. I think we even knew about it down into this level here. All right? And this thing is now up from we first really started talking about it. So if you're just in my channel, it is up a beautiful 308% gains. A 3x from when we first, like September 6th. I mean, that's insanity. Up 308% since September 6th. And these are the things that we've been doing. This is what we've been bringing you. So, again, and everyone will be like, how do you guys do it? How does the lifer happen to come to the live? And he's, you know, the market's been pretty flat. It hasn't been amazing, but he's sitting there showing us gains of 308%. That happened in about, what, 23 minus 6. So in about, you know, 17 days. To make 308% in 17 days, and forget that. Last night alone, right, this thing went up a beautiful about 52%. Even from the bottom of the channel, you're talking about 61% from the actual entry here. About 68, 69, let's say 69. Can we get, doesn't want to get us there. 68, 68 is kind of cool. in maturity, though. 69% gains out of JOYSTREAM. So, and yes, it did pull back, right? But you'd still be up 37% gains if you fell asleep and didn't even know you were in. You know what I mean? Shout out to anyone that did or did not jump in. Use it as a learning experience. If you missed it, tight moving averages. We had a node there. Once you got above the node, we also went through this gap in the VRVP. These are signals of moves to come, all right? The stochastics were low. Let's go to the 4-hour time frame, which is my go-to. And there was an inverted head and shoulder in here, too, even on the 4-hour time frame. Shoulder, head, right shoulder. It was a godsend. Look at that. I mean, perfect inverted head and shoulder. Like, if you're my student, this is right in your face. You know, shoulder, head, right shoulder, break to the upside, and this thing was gone. Even did a little retest for the confirmation after it broke out of the initial. But wow. Shout out to anyone that may or may not get into JOYSTREAM, and it may not be done yet. There's a lot of latecomers that wanted to jump into this, and it's kind of oversold here on the 15. Bit of a support of resistance flip here, maybe kind of attempting to pop out. High risk at this point, and I believe it's also a really good DCA long-term hold, like something to slowly build a bag into that we could unload in the bull market, and getting it down here when it was, I mean, even earlier, this thing was, it was a half a cent, right? So there, I mean, you're looking at an 8x, 9x, really, right? 9 times 4 is 36. You're looking at a 9x basically since August 5th, and people don't think there's money in this market. That's a parabola. Look at that thing moving to the upside, right? Bigger time frames will eventually give us a bit of a pullback. I'll look into that, but if you're in my trading group, you'd be in the gains right now. Shout out to JOYSTREAM. And this isn't the first time. We put it out last week for 90-something% on gains, you know? And I showed you guys how I flipped it. So anyway, you do whatever makes you happy, all right? I am not a financial advisor. Nothing I'm saying to do is just take it as financial advice. But what I do is I just give you an education, and I teach you how we're able to see these things before they happen. And my probabilities are so high based on my years of doing this. I just can't believe it. So, and it's just from me showing up every single day, you'll get the results. Let's break down Bitcoin like we do every single day here on the channel. Shout out to all my lovers of life. Shout out to my OGs. Also, last night, if you're in the channel, we were trading BLZ in the trading group. I jumped on in with the 99ers, looked at the charts, found a position. We were all in there together talking about it. I said, man, this thing's about to dump on the 15. And it doesn't look that big now, but last night it was like a mighty dump. And we were watching BLZ right here, and it came back down for this retest. And I noticed that the 15-minute was far away from the 21. I was like, oh, that's going to dump to the 21. Once it lost the 21, it was gone. And look, it started with a rejection by the 200 SMA. That short was amazing. Then it tried to come up. They tried to double back it again. But I'm telling you right now, BLZ is on its way to the downside. And honestly, I'm going to get away from the small time frames. I'm going to keep a short open for 2 weeks. I'm going to close it 2 weeks from now. And I'm going to show you, hopefully, in massive gains. If we look at the 3-day chart, yeah, we have falling volume with rising price, number one, which is bearish. All right, it's not a good sign. You don't want to see the because that means that you're losing the buyers. The buyers are exiting. All right, the people that were propelling price to the upside are now the people that are going to exit. And so their fault, it's going down while this is going up. That's a divergence. You got a divergence here on the RSI. All right. Which they go hand in hand because one's momentum, one's cash flow, right? Volume is basically cash flow. It's basically a money flow indicator in a way, showing you that the buyers, So this tells me that we're going to dump down to the 21-day moving average. And see, if you just play this like it's a 1-minute chart or a 15-minute chart, like last night, we knew that the 15-minute was going to drop to the 21. This is the same trade. It's just going to take a lot longer. If you can gain a set of patience in this market, you're going to be able to take people's money way more than even if you swing trade on small time frames. And I know it's hard to say, but I'm telling you right now, and in a bull market, you'll be able to perfect the midterm hold where you can turn 1,000, 2,000, 3,000 into 50, 60, 70, 80 grand just by sitting on a coin and watching it bubble, So just stay on point, stay focused, and big things are coming our way. I'm telling you right now, we have a bull market that's going to do something unbelievable. We have ETFs. We have institutional money, and I'm excited. I am so excited. We have Microsoft dumping in. We have Xbox making wallets.
It is just the beginning. We have Fortnite, right? We have that BRICS coin. We have gaming basically intersecting with Web3. We have DeFi. We have TradFi. I'm telling you right now, blockchain does it all. Blockchain, I'm telling you, people don't realize. We did business, no internet. We had the internet. Every single business got hooked up. It changed it changed the entire way of life. You bank on the internet now. Every bank has, you know what I mean? If you don't have a website, people look at you funny. You know what I mean? Speaking of websites, go to cryptolifer.com. Cryptolifer.com and check it out. All right? Cryptolifer.com as soon as you can and see what's going down here. And you can also jump on in to the trading group. All right? And it's just an amazing place to be. My trading group, I meet so many awesome people. Last night, hanging out was so fun. And watching people take massive gains on BLZ was amazing. So, yeah, it was fun. Anyway. So this tells me we're going to drop. You have bearish div and you're going to drop down to the 21. When price gets too far from the 21, it likes to... Now, it could go sideways and the 21 could come up. And then we won't make money on the short much. We'll just kind of go, but it's more likely going further down. Going to retest this 13 level area. And that is going to be a beautiful short to the downside. All right? And only time will tell. But that's what I'm looking for. Right? I like to short these things. All right? On a beautiful site called MEXC. MEXC.com. Right? Zero spot maker and taker fees. A maker is someone who hits the limit order and makes, you limit in. You make the order. A taker is a market order. You want the order. You demand it. They have to make it for you. Okay? Understand these concepts. They'll blow your mind. Awesome, awesome, awesome stuff. All right? Shout out to everybody here. We love you, and we want you to know that we appreciate you for being here and supporting us every single day. It's not easy, but we do it because we love you, and we know you love us. And together, we form just an amazing unity. All right? One thing I want to talk about is Bitcoin Miami. All right? Bitcoin Amsterdam. Bitcoin Amsterdam is coming. All right? And it's October 13th. I believe I will be there. I'm making plans to head on over to Westergas. And one of my good friends actually happens to be staying there for 6 months. For some family reasons. And a good friend of mine did move there. Like a long-term college friend of mine moved there. And so with that, I'll be able to link up with two old buddies. I'm sure we'll have a couple of nice dinners and say hi, maybe see something. And then I'm going to, meet people too and do some interviews and show you guys what it's like to be at Bitcoin Amsterdam. So making arrangements right now. Tickets aren't too bad. I'm looking at a round-trip flight for $1,200. You know what I mean? One-way nonstop is $645. The way home, though, is 8 hours for some reason. So it's like an extra hour with the air, I guess, the way it works. But, there's a time difference or something. You leave at 8 at night. You get there at 9 in the morning. But the flight, so the time, I think, is a 6-hour difference. But still, that's perfect. If I leave there at 8 and I get there at 9 a.m., that's beautiful, So, yeah, I'm just starting to look at it and plan my trip and get the days coordinated and everything. But, Bitcoin Amsterdam, we're back. And if you want to attend, you can click on here and you can get a whale pass or a general pass, right? General pass isn't that expensive. It's amazing. And say if you jump on in and you hit a code LIFER, all right? Add to the cart and code LIFER, all right? Boom. See if there's a code in here, or maybe at checkout there's a code. We might get a link tonight. I just made it too. So, yeah, there's your code right there, LIFER. Apply that code. You should be getting a 10% discount immediately, Let's see here. LIFER 33 last time. There's a chance you didn't get to do it yet. So, tomorrow it should be up and running. I'm like jumping the gun, but you get 10% if you do use my code to jump on in. So, hey, if you want to come to Amsterdam and meet me, it would be kind of cool. I don't know how many people are going there. It's going to be, pretty kind of like low-key event in a way. So, some really, really cool speakers. Like, I can't wait to see Eric Snowden. To see him speak live is going to give me the chills, to be honest. Maybe I'll even interview him. Who knows? I mean, that it could be out of control, right? So that's a big deal for me. I think that's a once in a lifetime opportunity to see Eric Snowden talk live. I mean, who here would do that? You know what I mean? I find that fascinating. So some other people too in the game that I'm interested in. Ben Samaka from Crypto Jungle. And this guy Martin Burnell is interesting from Jacoby Assets. And some other people behind the scenes. You know, this mining asset, Anthony Power, I've seen him speak a few times. Sam Tabar from Bit Digital. Some interesting people from around the world. And my man Mark Moss too. You know, so what I do is I pick some people I'd like to get an interview to the press room. Mark Moss would be a great interview, and he'll be there too. So there'll be a bunch of different people. And the thing is, usually you see these people in the streets too. You bounce around to different, different places and different restaurants. So I'm excited. Wow, there's a lot of people speaking. So it's going to be big. I know. Why am I not speaking? I know. Don't worry. Next year, we're going to get there. Bitcoin Amsterdam. Don't buy your ticket yet until I get confirmation of the code. But yes, Bitcoin Amsterdam. Let's do it. I'll tweet him right now and get it running. I'm excited. You should be excited. It's coming up pretty fast from now. All right. Bitcoin Amsterdam, baby. All right. Anyway, so I'm interested in that. It's going to be amazing. Who here thinks that's going to be exciting? I think that's going to be pretty interesting. So let's jump on into Bitcoin. We talked about the wins, the short last night, the long on JOYSTREAM, and the gains in the trading group. Hey, wait. I'm not even done. Hold up. I'm not even, it's not even fair here. It's not even fair. Right? So here's the deal. Where are we at? The elites. You have to remember, I post charts, and then there's my students that they were like glue. They listened to everything I said. They took one-on-ones with me, multiple ones back in the day too, when they were less expensive, and they were able to get up the knowledge. And now they are able to produce gains on a mass scale. It's pretty interesting. You can see, he put this out, nada. Right? And when he first put it out, this thing banged for 72%. He put it out down here with his Fibonacci's and everything. And where did it bounce? Off of 786. And then it came retraced to a golden pocket before it broke to the upside. My students are using Fibonacci. My students are using support and resistance, VRVP. And these are the elites, right? These are not my students anymore. These are the elite traders in the trading group. And they're posting gains constantly that are just massive. And I'm just excited, and I can't believe it. Stack on the radar has just been doing unbelievable, right? Ordi just getting started. Look at it starting to break out too now, right? There you go, Ordi. I'm personally innovative along there on Ordi. He's in LYM, LYM. That thing banged. 51% on a wick, back down to about 30% gains. He was all over it. That was the one that continued to go. Man. So, and he kind of updates you as it moves too. Pretty awesome. So shout out to my man banging on him to the upside, just doing damage. Nada hit for gains too. He had Nada in the falling wedge. Then it started to break to the upside. Look, that was the perfect entry right there. It eventually broke out of this and then would blast to the upside. Just put it out yesterday at 12:20. This thing was gone. So there's so much. And look, also sets alert set on Nada at 11:55 p.m. And this thing was gone. Like absolutely gone. So you would be getting information at your fingertips here in the trading group that will blow your mind. Not just me, so never mind the leverage masters. Never mind. There's so much. There's like ecosystems on ecosystems going on here. JOYSTREAM for the gain. We put FIT on the perpetual, multiple Bitcoin calls on the live stream. Let's see if we can find a Bitcoin call right now. Let's jump on into Bitcoin. Enough shilling the trading group. I get it. You've heard it. You've heard enough. You're just like, okay, Sam, you guys make gains every day, you know. Show us the way. Let us in. We want to know. Just keep coming back. That's what I tell everyone. And you'll absorb this information because I put it out there daily. Eventually, it'll be absorbed and you will get it. You know, shout out to everyone that gave to Sean's birthday. Really cool that Sean will get an extra little stipend there next week. Unbelievable. So super, super awesome. And Sean had an awesome birthday. Showed me pictures of him and his family eating. Birthday bonuses for all, man. Birthday bonuses for all, man. You know. So, pretty awesome. Where is the chat? I just went to use the old chat, and I couldn't find it. Hold on one second. I just had a... dude, I still live on some post-traumatic stress, man. It made me realize. Because, you know, ever since my channel disappeared, if something goes wrong while I'm doing something tech-wise, like, it'll just bug me out. And I'll be like... And I almost have, like, a slight panic attack, I'll be honest, you know? And right now, I just went to post right here, right? Like, join the trading group and everything. And it said, like, the event is now over. It's no longer available. And that was the chat from earlier today. And I'm just like, oh, man. Tell me that I've been talking to myself for 20 minutes. Okay. And my wife starts yelling. I don't know what was going on. Bone, Shiba swap, please. We'll take a look at Bone. God bless you, brother. Went straight to the 200, baby. Amen. Amen. Thank you for subscribing. If you haven't clicked the subscriber button, please click it and help the lifer in your lifer community. Shout out to Love Learning. Just got back from the gym. Shout out to Kyle Vero. Book of the week, Operation Gladio by Paul Williams. A must read. The Truth Alliance between the CIA and the U.S. Mafia and the Vatican. Wow. Wow. Operation Gladio by Paul Williams. Any analysis on the moving averages of the daily, on the weekly, on Bitcoin? Love you, bro. Daily looking bull. Weekly bear. Not financial advice. Yeah, I've been going over the bear. I just did that for you every Friday. I go over the weekly and the... I've been doing these weekly... yeah, I went over all that if you want to go back. I think this would be the best for you. I mean, I'll probably do it again, but this is like in depth. But if you see these videos here every week on Friday, I'm going over the macro for Bitcoin. And four main assets, the DKY, you know, the DXY, Bitcoin, NASDAQ, S&P, stuff like that. And I'm really breaking down the moving averages on the weekly and the bigger time frames and the smaller time frames. And yeah. Anyway, that's a really good video to watch. And we were going to do that every week. And then, you know, I kind of started traveling, but that will be back. You'll be seeing this every single week. All right. Yeah, so BLZ, and remember we put this thing out. I deleted it. It was in the way when I was trading last night. And I put this out on like 9:21 when I first said it, you know. But you'll see over time, this thing is going to just eventually end up back to the 21. All right. Just like AKRO did. AKRO was beautiful. And if you don't like, look, I said the same thing about AKRO. And I could have said the same thing about 100 different coins. I had to use one example at one point. So the same thing right there in 9.3 that we were going to, and look, this thing is still going. This short's still, wow. 52% gains. And the key is we're doing these with, if that was 200x leverage, oh my God. Right? So at 10x, you're at 500%. So it's 50,000%. Absolutely insanity, right? So shout out to everybody doing other things during the game. So Sam was his stand-in voice. All the way back to past there. You didn't know he was the real voice of Marv Albert. So anyway, this is looking amazing. Bitcoin looks absolutely Stunning. Let's break down here Bitcoin on Binance and see what's going on. We got resistance here. We got resistance here. We got resistance here. Bitcoin in a symmetrical triangle. Getting tighter and tighter. A big move is coming. The calm before the storm. You said it, baby. You said it. Hey, the tightness is here. We are waiting for the tightness. All right. And ever remember, are you in a losing trade one day? Were you in a losing trade? Like, did you get into a losing trade and did you freak out? Maybe your trade looked like this. Maybe you got in for 200x leverage. You had no idea what you were doing. You were down 234%. Maybe you were down 532. Do you know what to do? Do you know how to turn that trade into a winning trade? You might want to tomorrow for a limited time. September, Sundays, 12 p.m. This guy's flying all the way in from now. But seriously, once a week, for a limited time too, you never know, because he is a limited spirit on this earth. We never know. And his time is limited. He has family, friends. I need to talk to him all the time too. I need a lot of his time. So Sundays, 12 p.m. Eastern time with Grandmaster Friend. Become a leverage master. Stop losing your trades. Become a member and gain access to the Leverage Mastery Discord section. And what happened to that trade is he eventually turned it into a 1% gain, and he was out. Got into a long. Maybe the long kept going wrong. Kept mitigating, added to it just at the right time. Found a divergence, saw the reversal, and was able to get himself out of the trade without losing any money at all. Stop losing trades. 99 members gain access to the Leverage Mastery Discord section and following up mentoring sessions. Dude, most people would charge you $200 to $300 an hour for one of these mentoring sessions. You're going to get multiple a week. Like, you're going to get literally, I'd say $3,000 to $5,000 worth of training. When we look back on this time, you're going to realize that you got the greatest deal of your life for $150. I'm telling you right now, I learned so much, and I've been trading for 15 years. You'd be pompous to think that you won't get something out of this course. And it's tomorrow, 12 p.m. Eastern time. Hit the QR code or the link. Don't play yourself. If you're going to trade leverage, you might as well learn from the best and get some awesome education while you're at it. So I call shout out to everybody here. The class is definitely worth it. Get in while it's cheap. It's definitely worth way more. Definitely. In the bull run, I'm sure that it's going to go up. $300. It could double fast. That information is wanted. So I'm still looking at this as a possible. It's fun. Oh, let's have some fun. I never really do the arc, right? But that is a cup, right? And we still have a bit of a handle here. And I'm still kind of entertaining the Sammy Cup and Handy to the downside, right? It's still there. It hasn't left me. It's a rounded top. Rounded tops don't pay the bills. Almost some cat ears here in a way. All right. Not perfect cat ears, but the idea of cat ears. Long, little head, whoa, and then usually kind of trickle down here. Cat ears in trading. Always remembers me of that day. I was like, thought for sure Bitcoin was going to dump with the cat ears, and it didn't. Still was in shock to this day. I was like, wait. Funny, it used to be like a really perfect example of the cat ears. Funny. Not those ones. Those ones. It's funny. Anyway. You know what it is? Yeah, sorry. See this? It's whenever I'm on Brave. The Brave search is just not as good as the Google search, or it's not the same. So something that I've Googled 100 times and gotten like a great picture that I know I can use, it doesn't show up when I'm doing it here. See, there's cat ears right there. Yoink, yoink to the downside. There's your trigger. This looks somewhat similar. All right. It's not perfect. That isn't the same high. I get it. But you're getting some vibes of a double toppiness there. The 15-minute is starting to roll over like it wants to break to the downside. The key is you keep battling this POC. Fake out, breakdown. The point of control. The level is 26,570. It's like 26,600. We lose it. We're going to the value area low here, down to 26,384, 26,400, And what looks to me is we're going to break down like this. What makes sense to me, and what I like about symmetrical triangles is you can pick a side if you want, but you're a 50-50 So the key is to kind of chill. Usually they are near a POC because that's the reason why you're forming, like, the symmetrical triangle forms in certain areas over and over again. All right. Distressed cat, right? Shout out to the 334 people on the live, 148 likes. People like to go out and party tonight. They like to get hammered. They don't want to be watching the charts at 8 on a Saturday night. Market's been slow. But, you know, we also took massive gains on JOYSTREAM on a Saturday because we were paying attention. This morning, that was a massive call, right? Stack made a massive call for Lim, made another massive call. So, like, there was beautiful gains today if you were paying attention with us. But if you decided to look at other things, and, you know, it's all, and that's fine. I don't expect everyone's focus to be my focus. But I will tell you that I will stay focused, and these altcoins can bring you, oh my God, they can change it up. So, falling wedge, could have break. I just drew that just instinctively. I don't even know why I drew it. But there's a falling wedge, could have break to the upside. Got some cup and handle vibes. You're now below the 200 SMA. See? When I was talking about before, remember when I said if these come and get tight, you're going to dump. This is so likely going to drop to the downside, in my humble opinion. And so it's kind of the same thing that we said earlier today, right? Where it was like this short. And even the short, you wait for the entry, right? For the oversold. But this looks likely, you know, for a break to the downside. Nice 3 to 0.5 risk reward ratio. The take profit is at 26,345. The stop loss is somewhere above 26,641. And you might just get stopped out. You know, anything could happen. But the fact that now you're below the 200 SMA, you lose the basis point now. You take a look at the 1 hour. 1 hour's pushed down now and is getting into the oversold region where I don't like to I like to open up my shorts when the 1 hour's high, right? Like up there. Tell me to be a little wary. The 4 hour, however, is about to roll over on you, and it looks like it could just flush the 1 hour down. So I'm going to remove my moving averages for a second. There's a likelihood that the 4 hours is just going to take us down here. So you could trade the 4 hour, the 4 hour alone. Stop loss somewhere above this line right here, 26,626. And again, I should say I could trade this. I'm not a financial advisor. Nothing I'm saying you should be taking a financial advice. You do whatever you want. I'm looking at Bitcoin as this is a very likely, this is a symmetrical triangle. They usually break down more than they break up. And but they could squeeze us too. But the 4 hour is suggesting we take a dump. All right. Small time frames, keep playing games. The one thing that I saw that was interesting was this bigger cup and handle on the 22. Right. And I don't mean to confuse you, but I see some shorts in the smaller time frame, and I see now if we can somehow keep above 26.3, right? If we can keep above 26.3, that stays as resistance there, and we don't end up going lower. Even if we do go lower, it's still a handle, right? So like to me, as long as we keep 26,000, chance to 20 that so we can flush down, clear all these, you know, and then this could be a great breakout back to the upside. You could also pull a Fibonacci here, and that's going to coincide with the 618, you know? So, like, to me, I would really be looking closely at 26,000, 25.8, 25.9. This area here, these are key areas where we could wick into and then still get a blast up, and that could be a beautiful trade for a long to the upside. So those are things that I'm looking at closely. All right. All right. So the 4 hour looks horrible. You know? And I'm watching it closely. It looks like it's very well going to roll over, you know? Probabilities that I'm looking at say there's a likelihood of a dump to the downside, but only time will tell. 1 hour could get us a huge pump up tonight. You know, it's been funny trading. It really has. But at the end of the day, you could look at no other time frame but the 4, short the 4, and the 4 tells me that it's likely going down. You know, kind of even have these shoulders, head, right shoulders. It's kind of like a bigger head and shoulder pattern too. So, and the daily also wants to come back down to the 21-day moving average, right? The only thing is, see, we're just holding. It's just interesting that we're holding this previous resistance is bounce. Like we're just holding this support. So as long as we stay above 26.5, we're all right. You know what I mean? I'd like to see a smaller candle, like 7-minute, 15-minute close below that level. Like, so as long as we stay above that level, there's a chance we have, you know, you have a low, you have a high. That's a higher low with the trend. you would expect a higher high. And I wouldn't be surprised, yeah, these getting tight if we pumped up all the way to the 200 SMA and just flushed all these shorts. You know, I've been accumulating a lot of Bitcoin down here as I've been showing you, and I'm about to get into a whole BTC again, right? Let's see here. If I go to spot, I'm getting really close to a whole Bitcoin. Not in total. I keep adding. I'm not going to tell you how many, but I have more than one. I'll tell you that. Let's take a look here. If I'm going to buy, if I was going to sell all my bitties, it would be 955, right? So I am like 0.05 away, which is crazy. 0.1 is $3,000. 0.03 is about, right now it's about $260, right? So I'm about $1,000 away from a whole Bitcoin. What do you say I do it? What do you say I cap it off tonight? You know, I just feel like we could get a little bit lower of a price. Really won't matter for $1,000 though. And then it will cap me out. So if I do 1,000, let me see if I do 1,000 right now. It only gives me 0.37. Isn't that funny? I still don't get to the whole BTC. I get pretty close, but I still don't get it. You know, I'll throw it in because I love y'all. This is just because I'm a crypto lifer. All right. Someone going out tonight spending $1,000 at the club. Someone spending $1,000 on some new car payment because they want to look fresh. Someone right now, instead of driving a Hyundai or some regular cars, driving some fancy Mercedes, right? For an extra $1,000 that month. And look what I'm doing. I'm paying for my children's future, for wealth, for wealth. You know what I mean? Every time I do these things in front of you, it's to show you that we're almost there, baby. Look, we're at 99 now. I might as well go for the 0.01, right? Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's do it. Lock me in for one more BTC. Yes, we've done it. See? A whole Bitcoin, baby. And I start over. This goes to the hardware wallet, and I start fresh. And I did that on MEXC with 0 spot maker and taker fees. I just want to make that clear. You can go on Coinbase. They won't give you the exact price. Bitcoin will be like 27.8, and you'll pay more usually. It happened to me too. You know, they set up it all nice and easy. They don't explain to you it's really not an exchange. They're just kind of like a market maker or something. And if Bitcoin's 28.5, you're paying 28,683, like $180. And if you're buying $500, they're charging you like $70, $60. If you're buying $5,000, they're charging you like $150. So you'll buy Bitcoin for $5,000, and you get into paying somewhere between $400 and $500 over the price of Bitcoin. But if you buy it here on MEXC, so what you do is you buy the tether on Coinbase, which is fine. You send it over to MEXC, and then you buy it here, right? And you stack it, right? So, and you'll see my spot wallet tomorrow and the next day will be completely empty. That Bitcoin will be off, back on a hardware wallet, all right? And so, actually probably at the end of the stream tonight, you know, I'm not going to leave it there too long, right? Let's get it up. The fan funding. I love you, man. Thank you so much, Master Friend, for being so attentive and caring. Donation label. Someone sent a donation so I can test the sound. What a smart man, right? But I brought it up from like a very low level to a higher level. I hope that's the right one. I believe it is. We love you, friend. They don't make them like you anymore, man. I don't know. You're a star child, man. You're indigo. You were indigo baby or something. That's what I think it was. You know? Pretty sure about it. Your mom's like real cool. So here you go. 4-hour time frame. Wants to roll over and take a dump. The smartest thing is to open a short because it's likely, in my opinion, to go sideways till we get a bigger pump. So I feel like if you don't get the short, you just go sideways. But do whatever makes you happy. 4-hour looks about to roll over. Hugging a higher low. And look, see where we got the moving averages far apart. Yeah, see, now that I read it properly, we're going to drop down to the 200 SMA. It's likely you'll get even more than the target here. But I'm calling short for Bitcoin. You do whatever makes you happy. It is a weekend, and I could wake up tomorrow and we'll be absolutely sideways, right? So that's BTC on a nutshell. Someone asked about the bigger time frame. All right. And do I see anything else cooking, good looking? Well, I was all over GFT for my trading group. Gifto before pump. I don't think anyone else was on that. I talked all about it. This thing is mooning, absolutely mooning, and getting ready for a possible another move up. So, you know, and I first put out Gifto here. Let's just break it down. I believe I first put it out here for a scalp on like the 7. It popped. Then we drew it kind of here, I believe. That one of either that one or that one was the scalp. I think it was that one. Yeah, right there. Then I saw it consolidate, and I watched it closely after making gains the first time. And I said to my team, I said, everyone, can we hold here on this trend line? You know, if this trend line can hold, then Gifto can make some gains. And it did hold. It went flat, flat, flat. We got a big candle there, and that was an indication we did hold. And then this thing was gone. Absolutely gone. Pretty interesting, right? The 4-hour could kind of go either way here. Let's look at our 15-minute attempting to roll over. So be careful. There's some bearish div now as that swings kind of flat, and this swings preferably, you know, very well down. MACD is showing lack of momentum, and we kind of have rising price with falling volume. It is consolidating, and all the times it's been consolidating, this thing has continued. I wouldn't be surprised if it did, but just be careful. That's very high risk at this point for Gifto. And it seems like it's starting to dump as we speak, right? Do we get the Bitcoin dump when I'm live here? You never know. Let's take a look at what we have here for Bookmap. Does it say the same thing as me? It does. It says that it does want to go lower. It says there's more liquidity to the downside than to the upside. It says it likes to go to 26,000. It's about my measured move. You know what I mean? So 26,336, and then it looks like we're going to go lower. So anytime, you know, who knows? I am not a mathematician. I am not 100%. I'm just a guy who, you know, slept at a Holiday Inn last night. No. I love that, though. Shout out to Roddy Robinson, by the way. I feel like I'm going to call him on the live stream tomorrow, right? And be like, Roddy, how you been, man? And he's like, what's up? And I'm like, dude, you're on the live. And he's like, no. And I'm like, yeah, we love you, man. But who here remembers Roddy, our buddy Roddy? And I'm going to be seeing him probably when I get to St. Pete's. I'm also going to be trying to get to St. Pete's on October 18th. So I got a busy travel schedule the first 2 weeks of October. Head out to Amsterdam, come back home for a day, head out to St. Pete's, you know. So Amsterdam, the like 11th, 12th, 13th, and 14th, something like that. 12th to the 15th, something 12th, you know. And then St. Pete's like the, I don't know, 17th to the 20th, you know. So if anyone's going to be in St. Pete, Florida, right, jump on in. Get him to show his socks, baby. Amen. Shout out to Aura Thames for the $5 in her first super chat ever. I love this. Every day or couple of days, there's someone who gives the first super chat of the live. Thank you so much, Aura Thames. We love you. We appreciate you. And we really thank you for the $5 super chat. May God bless you and yours for that amazing contribution. So nice of you to do. That's karma headed your way. You're blessing so many people in the group because we are all connected, baby. So Bitcoin is boring, but we can still be entertaining and fun on a Saturday night. Hey, Lois, I think I'm going to grow a beard. We can do voices, right? Hey, we can do all sorts of funny. Babe, I told you, I'm Maki Wahlberg. I can take care of it, babe. It doesn't matter. I played a cop. I played a fireman. I'm cool with The Rock. I know everyone in Hollywood. Me and Jonah Lucas hang out the other day. He was driving around. I gave him a Lamborghini. He was driving around. Babe, it doesn't matter. I'm going to get us through this. I'm going to show you exactly what to do. I'm Maki Wahlberg. We're going to do it, okay? God bless everybody. Shout out to Crypto Billy in the house with the 111. Shout out to Crypto Bull. Shout out to Brett Mohar. Shout out to French Toaster, Stack McChange, Master Friend, and everybody. Came for the TA, stayed for the voices. Shout out to ATM Smasher. Are you still bullish on cake? I mean, long-term, cake could go somewhere. I keep some cake staked, but it got slammed. I didn't expect it to get slammed the way it did. That was insanity, but, you know. So Gifto getting that sell-off, I mean, a strong bearish div. Stochastic turning down. Shoulder, head, shoulder. Interesting enough, that's like a nice short, right? So let's switch gears here. And I wasn't saying the long this. I just wanted to repeat that. I actually thought the long was extremely risky after such a beautiful pump, right? But yeah, I mean, you got a bit of head and shoulder there that technically is about to start dumping further down. It loses the 50. It's going to dump further down to the next moving average. Gifto, baby, Gifto. But it was fun, man. Gifto gave us some gains, huh? Immutable X was fun until it wasn't, right? A little bit of a pump, though. It did break out. We have it in this falling wedge. It did get a breakout. Got rejected by the POC. I'd like to see it stay out. If it can just stay outside of the pattern and heat up, you know, if it never breaks back inside this falling trend, we have a good chance we can get some moves there, right? Let's take a look at Total 3, the entire market cap of altcoins, and we'll also look at Bitcoin dominance, see if there's some room for the altcoins this weekend or it's really just a lost cause. So right now on the daily, we're a bit overbought, and we didn't even get to a previous high. Tells you that the altcoins are struggling, and it's kind of, they're following the same similar pattern as Bitcoin here, right? Here's a little flag. Could it break to the upside? You know, moving averages are tight. Do you get the pump up to the 200 SMA? Interesting enough, the 22-hour is the one that could get us the move. Look, this is a shoulder, a bit of a head, kind of like a double right shoulder. It's interesting, right? It's not, you know, and this is a bit of a double top in a way. Again, this is the total market cap excluding Bitcoin and Ethereum. This is all the altcoins. That's also a shoulder head and a shoulder. See, I got so many mixed signals here. 22-hour does look good to me. 4-hour wants to roll over again at that POC. So it's just like Bitcoin. Like Bitcoin rolls over, the altcoins roll over, you know. And so I'm a support and resistance guy. I'm all about it. Like, couldn't get above, got back above. Now you can't get above again. Shoulder, head, shoulder. You're going to the downside. So, like, this tells me, like, I just feel more comfortable shorting this. And if I lose, it's fine. That's the thing about a strategy. You should have a strategy that you feel comfortable doing. And it's got some symmetrical triangle. It's got some descending triangle vibes. It really does. This thing could take a tumble. So, I'd watch the altcoins. They don't look amazing. They really don't. Tether, and look at Bitcoin dominance could make a bit of a pump. Now, if we, actually, this is Tether dominance. Yeah, Tether dominance wants to pump. So this looks like we're in for a little bit of a dump, everybody. I'm being honest. Like, this will pump. Altcoins will dump. Bitcoin will dump. Let's look at, if Bitcoin dominance also is about to drop, like has a bear flag on the 4-hour, or wants the pump on the 4-hour. So look, if it wants to pump, here's what could happen. People are running out of altcoins to get into Bitcoin, and they're running out of altcoins to get into Tether. And so as the market dumps, Bitcoin dominance goes up, and so does Tether. Also, people jump out of altcoins because they want to lose less money. Like Bitcoin's, if Bitcoin goes down 50%, it has to drop a lot. But an altcoin could drop 50% tonight. So people that were swing trading or, you know, attempting to scalp big money, they're going to run out really quick. And what that does is it creates a move in Bitcoin dominance and in Tether dominance. What you really want to see is Bitcoin dominance going up, Tether dominance going down, but then you also want to see the altcoins pointing to the upside. That tells you that the money's going to flow out of Tether, right? Even though Bitcoin's going to be, you know. So this tells me to be careful that it looks like we could get a drop in Bitcoin, a pump in Bitcoin dominance, a pump in Tether dominance, and a drop in altcoins. So just be careful, okay? And use these assets to your advantage. Let's take a look at the DXY. DXY, we're waiting on this bearish div. It's right there. Look, swing down to swing down on the 4-hour, swing up to swing up. Does have a shoulder, head, and shoulder, but still overbought. Even the indicators got the bearish div. I didn't even see it, but now I do. And I've been calling for about a drop on the DXY for like 5 days now. My indicators tell me there's a 90% chance that we're dropping down on the DXY. Just like we dropped down on AKRO when I knew AKRO was going to dump. Same concept, same ideas. Space away from 21 with overbought stochastic tell me when price action is going to drop. So right now, we're high. There's the 21. And we're overbought on the stochastics. This looks just like AKRO. See, like, what people don't realize, it doesn't matter the asset that you're trading. They all do the exact same thing. Once you realize, see, that will take you years to figure out. See, that not everyone that knows TA really well ever even gets there mentally. You have to be kind of in some type, you have to have played with your brain before and like pushed it and pulled it and really kind of gone through the echo chambers of the universe in a way. I don't know exactly how to explain it. I think maybe I'm speaking to some of you. I don't know. Some of you may not know what I'm saying, but understanding that every asset is exactly the same, because how did we get here? Someone talked about it, made it up, created it, which was a coin, an idea, Bitcoin, Tesla, I don't care. A human being creates an idea, gets people behind it, starts making a whole, a company, and then it gets put on an exchange and people buy and sell it. So every single chart is the exact same thing. It's the representation of the same thing. Just a different name, different product, different industry, different exchange. Same things going on. It's an entity that was created by somebody, whether it was a product, idea, whatever it is, it's a business represented by a stock or a ticker, and then it's being traded on an exchange. I don't care what it is. If it's peaches, I don't care if it's coal, oil, fine. Then we have commodities and stuff. They weren't created by somebody, but they are bought and sold, and they eventually find a value, right? So these all follow the same rules, everybody. So see how AKRO got high on the 3-day, overbought in the Stokes? It was a bearish div, and it had to drop down to the 21 SMA. Same exact things going on for the DXY here. Exactly same exact thing. You can take away all the moving averages except for the yellow and the white again, and you can compare how similarly these look, right? Dropping down to the 21 SMA when you're that far away from it is just very likely, especially when the MACD's overbought. You have bearish divergence. You're at the top of a channel. So I am, if this breaks out, fine. I'm open-minded, and I could be, anything is possible. That's the thing. I don't care how great your probabilities are. I don't care if you backtested it for 10,000 years. Tomorrow's a new day. Anything is possible. So just be careful. Are you a man or machine, a son of man or a man of God? Here I am. Let's go. Anthony C. Wow, I'm getting an insane stomach ache right now that I'm never used to. Oof, like I might have to cut the screen. Oh my gosh, I'm in pain. I'll see how I fight through. Follow me. Greg Dickerson is the man too. Follow Greg Dickerson. What an interesting, amazing person to know. And he's a high-end developer and mentor, high-level investor coach. The guy will blow your mind. Unbelievable to get to know him. Dickerson International, man. But full-time trader host, that's me, man. 18,000 followers here. Jump on it today. All right. I will teach you, even if you want a DCA and you believe in a project, there's times to DCA and there's time, you don't want to, if you're going to hold something 10 years, that's fine. Like say, I want to hold Bitcoin 10 years. That's great. But what if you started learning a little bit about it? You started a little getting in 2017 and then you put a whole lot in at 69,000. Now you're in 4 years. Now you got to wait another 4 years for that money went all the way down and came back up again. 8 years went by. How much money did you make on Bitcoin? Now, had you know at least how to use the 2-week chart and how to DCA into proper areas of low, undervalued parameters, like this is when the dollar was low. Whenever the dollar gets low, these are times to be selling Bitcoin. The next time the dollar gets back down into these levels on a bigger chart, that's when you're selling Bitcoin. And I can teach you this. I'll show it to you, right? Right now we can go and we can split screen. We can go to Bitcoin on the right. We can go to the dollar on the left. All right. This is so fun to do. And by juxtaposing macro assets and looking at the probabilities that I have, if like 5 charts that all, one inversely correlates, says yes, dump, the other one says, I have a pretty good reading on where the market's going to go, and that's why I was able to call the bottom of the S&P, right? There's just, call it luck, call whatever you want, but I call it amazing. So let's take a look here on the weekly. Make sure you're on the same time frame when you do this, otherwise you'll ruin it, right? And you can put on the indicators if you want, but you don't need to. So take a look at this, right? Here was the bottom right here for the dollar. That was when, so when the stochastics got super low, which is my indication for a bottom. And the dollar also made a shoulder, a head, and a right shoulder. People that tell you that patterns don't work, this is how to trade macro environments. Now, you end up getting a shoulder, a head, and a shoulder for Bitcoin that end up dumping to the downside. all you had to know was really that was a head and shoulder pattern there, which was pretty crazy, right? But anyway, the dollar of the bottom of the dollar is the top for Bitcoin. The stochastics tell you when you're bottomed out, as well as the RSI. Stochastics are deadly, though, especially on the 2-week chart. Here it is again, right? And then let's find another little low price action for the dollar index. So we have our top here. And you can see we had like a little bit of a dip. And interesting, and then the dollar starts to just continue to fly. Look, they keep printing it. So for a while, they went up together because the whole world was just printing money and it was out of control. Euphoria. But then look, as the dollar continued to pump, Bitcoin, right? And then look, like we zoom in closer. Well, let me go to the 2-week on Bitcoin. Sorry, I'm on the weekly. That's why we were a little unadjusted. So here we are on the high here. That top for the dollar is the bottom for Bitcoin now. And the dollar was high in the stochastics with the bearish dip. So this is simple stuff. Go to the bigger time frames. Divergences never lie on big time frame. They may slightly play games on small time frames, but they never lie on big time frame. Like, they really don't. So DXY is in a rising wedge. The moving average, remember I teach you, the 21 away from the 50, from the 200 SMA. The other asset should have the moving averages somewhat closer together. They should start getting tight. So, you know, one asset's actually trembling down while one asset's getting closer together. These are, you know, here the moving averages were tight when these had moving averages far apart. Told you that this was going to pump, but this was going to drop. So like what now? Well, now it looks like there's a chance they both drop together for a little while with some brick stuff. But Bitcoin, I believe, holds up the best, you know, because of its halving. There's no halving coming for the dollar. You have to remember that. So just interesting ideas. And the idea that you can also correlate, you know, you can trade Forex, use Bitcoin as your guide to trade Forex. You're like, well, I mean, look at it. Here was the divergence for Bitcoin. That was the divergence on Euro USD. Here was the pump for Bitcoin. That was the pump for Euro USD. Euro USD pullback, pump. Here's Bitcoin's pullback. That's when Euro USD pulled back. You know, then they both pulled back. Both are getting ready for some type of pump, in my humble opinion. It's looking like the dollar is going to find some type of, you know, some type of dumpage. You just got to find, you know, the Euro's in a funny pattern right now. I feel like it was in a flag and it left the flag. Anyway, I don't like doing this when I have both screens up. It messes it up. But so I just want you to see the correlation between the dollar, Euro USD, and Bitcoin. All right, it's pretty interesting. So. And I'm going to delete everything here because it's like I can't see what I'm doing. And I'm going to delete everything here. But that's all I want you to understand. This, see how close they're the same thing. You get it? Bitcoin has recovered a little bit better than the euro. Okay? And I believe you're going to see that more often. And also, Bitcoin's above its 200 SMA on the 2-week. But the euro's not, right? So key insights to BTC and world markets to help you trade Forex, the NASDAQ. It doesn't matter what you want to trade. I could teach you. I can show you things that you wouldn't think that are possible. They're all out here, you know. And if you just, it doesn't matter what anyone tells you or anyone says. I don't care. Everyone has an opinion, an idea, a thought. But if you put in as much time as I have in the markets, no one will be able to tell you anything. You will know yourself. Like, to thy own self be true. Like, you will be so stuck on that, on your own thoughts, you know. So look, the 2-week chart, it did come back down. Chance that this thing could start to make a move. It's just touching the 21 SMA. That's a good sign, right? Back to the 21 for a pump. 2 weeks, you know, it's interesting. It's just funny when you look at different time zones. There's also a resistance, so we'll see. What about 1 trillion debt a month versus 17 years to accumulate the economy is in stables? What's the government shutdown going to do to crypto? Nothing. The people who say trading patterns doesn't work are the same people who say big Bitcoin is a scam. Funny. Let's look at TUSDT, which was threshold, right? So it's made a double bottom here. Can it hold the double bottom? Pushed up on that 3-day with nothing. Like, just not many people knew about it. Didn't get enough volume. That's what happens in bear markets. Coins that even that are cool and interesting and should get a pump, they don't. You know, they got to be heavily organized to really get a move in the markets. Still pushing up on the 3-day chart. Let's take a look at the daily. Daily's still struggling too, but you have a resistance. Can't seem to get back above 1948. That's going to be an issue there. So we'll see. Look to me like it's doing an Adam and Eve double bottom. And over time, that's going to be the play, and probably a nice accumulation zone if you like the project. I don't like it enough to do that. You got it. That's up to you. Let's take a look at Bone. Shiba swap on MEXC. And I own a little Bone. It's on a hardware wallet somewhere. Honestly, what an easy play for Bone. If you really think about it. Shoulder, head, right shoulder, broke the neckline, dumped to the downside. Came all the way down to the lower time. Look at these 3 peaks. So ugly. It just gets, but it does say that every time it comes to this low value area that it likes to pump, and it has a higher low each time. So it's coming to a place where eventually it's undervalued and it could likely get a bit of a pump. Does it go lower? It looks like it may. A little bit of bullish divvy though on the 22. So you set up your bigger time frames, and then you're gonna have to zoom in to get clarity, right? Just to see what the heck is going on here. So when we zoom in for clarity, we got ourselves in a bit of a falling wedge. Someone could consider a bear flag, but it's a falling wedge. It's got some legs to move up. It could pump up to the 200 SMA here on the 4-hour. See? I could see that getting the move. I'd wait for it to break out and retest here or even there. Safety zones for a swing trade. And that level we're going to look at is 8109 and 8546. But looking pretty interesting. Almost a shoulder, a head, and a right shoulder there, too, that can break on up. Elongated style, but a little overbought on the Stokes. I could trade off Trezor Cold Wallet. Can I trade off the Trezor Cold Wallet? I don't know. I don't think so. Maybe. You can attach it to your MetaMask wallet, and you can trade out of MetaMask. Yes. Sometimes, yeah, you know what? You can buy and sell, I believe, out of Trezor. It's Trezor, not Treasure. I don't know what... You might be asking me about Trezor, and I don't know anything about Trezor. So everything's kind of following Bitcoin with that like kind of inverted cup and handle feel, the rounded top, hanging out. I'll tell you right now, this has descending triangle vibes, like right off the bat. It looks like it's going to complete a descending triangle and then likely dump to the downside. I see an ability to short possibly the whole market for whatever reason. September, we got a few more days left. September sucks, and usually they're like, oh, we didn't dump you yet. We got 7 more days. Let's pull the trigger. So there's also shoulder, head, shoulder, shoulder. It's like a complex head and shoulder. Possible descending. AGIX has, previous resistance here too as well. So I would remain bearish. If it can break above this and retest, then you can long. So if AGIX can break out and retest, right, that level there at 8.9, even safer, 9.8. 19.8 or 18.9 or 19.8, you got a good chance of a move. Ant, which is Argon, has just been going sideways for literally like 2 weeks straight. I don't know what to say. Eventually, it's going to break that move. It did finally. Wow, we finally got the move. I talked about this for days on end, and we put it out the bottom of the channel there, up 18%. Finally, Ant banging on them to the upside. Shout out to anyone that took gains on Ant. Another banger in the trading group. Sean, you got to do the GFT gains. You got to find those for me, man. See if you can find the gains without me. Find those gains. Ant gains I put out right now in there too. But GFT gains, Gifto. They should be posted. You should be able to find them. Lifer, what would be the benefit of a beginner trader joining your Discord channel, asking for a friend? The benefit, number one, is you have people scanning the markets in ways you never thought possible. Number two, you have so many people posting their charts that just sitting in the group alone, you're going to absorb. Number three, we have people that just don't accept the fact that you can sit there and be a fish. They're going to be like, what are you doing? Post your chart. Can you show us? And it's like being part of this, like, it's like joining, like, you know, someone threw you in the jungle and then these people come out of the woods and next thing you know, they're like, show us how your tools are made. Do you have any tools to make? What do you want to do? And you're like, I got this stick. And they're like, what do you do with that stick? And you're like, well, I could do this. And then they're like, wow, that's creative. And you build. The next thing you know, in a month's time, you're not the same person because you've been around so many helpful people with positive, good vibrations and with real knowledgeable skills on how to trade. And I amass people from all around the world that love to trade, you know. I have traders that win competitions, traders that get evals, traders that learn how to pass evals easily. We show you so many different things. Nothing's easy, but they do it with a skillful, planned out approach. The idea is we're here for you, man. And we have a trading group, and I have lifer lessons and videos waiting for you that people will charge you $500 to up to $2,000, $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 just to teach you how to trade. It's all there, so you have access to it the day you join. I also pay for Token Metrics, which is an amazing kind of searchable classification of some of the best coins in the game. And we provide you the coins that I'm looking at on there. So that's another value. Token Metrics gets posted, Bookmap gets posted all the time to show where liquidity is. There's people in there with high block and other things that they pay for. So yeah, for your 99, you get access to so much, it's ridiculous. Right? So shout out to everybody here on the live. Thank you for being here. Appreciate each and every one of you for jumping on in. And thank you for bringing up Aragon. Is it have to continue? Well, the 4 hours is a little overbought away from the 21. And it got a nice pump after a long wait. So I'd look for it to probably flag out here and touch the 21 before it gets another bigger move. But there's a chance it could go because it consolidated for so long. You would hope a bigger pump could come after that long, right? I've made the 99 the next day, and thank God so much knowledge in the group. Look, Barber Trader Joe, my man, God bless you. The group is life-changing, more than trading too. Yeah, like this guy came into the group. You're a different person, aren't you? Let's be honest. Abdominal Breadman, Spaghetti Rigetti. I mean, he was an amazing person. I'm not saying he wasn't when he joined the group, but I know that the group has changed him. And of course, everyone's changed in their life in the last 2-3 years. But I know the group can accelerate a positive vibe in people. I've seen it. I've seen people that get stuck with drugs and alcohol say the group has changed them. I've seen the family vibe. I've seen the love. I've seen the connections. It's strong. It's interesting. It's something I've never seen it throughout literally trading communities. And it's really my dedication. I'm so dedicated to what I do. People see how much I care and how much I love, and the passion is just so real that you can't fake it. You can't fake passion. You can't fake real passion. You know, Tom Brady yelling on the sidelines, bugging out. Like, you can't fake real passion. You just can't fake it, right? And so people connect with that. And so I put myself out there, and because I put myself out there, people get to know me through this channel. Someone left me a long video recently. I talked about this being a double bottom on Coin98, right? It is up, not a lot, but up 6%. It looks like it could continue a little bit. 4 hours making a bit of a flag here. C98. And this coin, I remember trading it for $4,000 one day, about $3,700 in 2 or 3 trades in an afternoon on the live stream. Spot too, not even trading lev, you know, just spot trading. Dude, I can make spot trading like more exhilarating than leverage trading. Like, you'll see. We'll make some monster spot trades during the bull market. It'll be insane. Maybe even sooner than later. Like, I just swung trade Casper for $15,000 the other night. Banged out $500 in 6 hours, you know. That's like my, because when the trade's high, that's when I'm like fully locked in, you know. But I'm bringing in the leverage to learn how to do that with the same risk, a little less money, and get this a very similar result. But it has to be fine-tuned, man. Leverage doesn't give you the wiggle room that spot gives you. Spot gives you a lot of wiggle room, and I like wiggle room. I like to zigzag, baby. You know what I mean? C98, I made some good returns scalping from 2021. It's not just trading, it's life lessons, character building, business schooling, relationship building, networking, spiritual, and trading. Join, bro. Join. Thank you for saying that, man. And he's someone who has like years of experience in business and just mentorship and stuff like that. And he's there. He loves it. I bring people in too that I believe help other people. All right. Casper order block is the thinnest I've ever seen today. Yeah. Bull run began this year. 1 year after the halving is when to dump your bags. Yeah, about 12 to 18 months, depending. But this looks like we can get a nice push to the upside out of here. It might come down a little lower and hit that 21 SMA. I mean, the 200 SMA, but I'm looking for this in a buy zone here. C98, possibly 14% Pickens. And they got a 3 to 5 risk reward ratio. And I can be kind of 2 layers below, too. So C98 is on the radar. Daily's a little overbought, though. That's no good. I put an alert here because I don't like the daily. But the 4-hour looks interesting. ASTR did a nice bounce back up and then came all the way back down. I still see in this cup and handle, it's been playing games. The daily 3-day chart still really wants to rumble, so I just give it its time. That 3-day chart suggests it will make its move to 7677. ASTR. Donald Hoffman, listen to the man. Shout out to everybody here. Yeah. Peter Eckel, shout out to my man Peter. Shout out to Love Learning. Shout out to Brandon K. Barbara Trader Joe. Shout out to Brett Moore, Flying Blind Bum. My man Marcus Zebot in the house. And everybody out there. Crypto Billy, we love you, man. Digital Orgy. I don't know what you're having an orgy with digitally, but I hope it's okay. Don't get shocked there by a microchip. Shout out to Anthony C. Lot Mo Crypto. I got a lot of crypto, but I need a lot more. Shout out to Lot Mo Crypto. God bless everybody here on the live. And I think Ben's putting out a video tonight. I'm excited. My wife wants to see it. She's like, this is like, I need to know, like, you know. But shout out to Ben, man. He's gonna become more fun. Love it. You're gonna see the Ben that we all love and know, man. You know what I mean? His energy was being blocked. There was a lot going on, you know. So, and everyone has their opinion. At the same time, you know what? A lot of you would not know me. All right? So, you can say whatever you want. You can say whatever you want. I pay homage to and respect, baby, where I came from. All right? I know who helped. If you went out of your way to help me, I don't care who dragged your name through the mud or whatever, I would remember that you helped me. And that's what I would remember. Nothing else matters to me but who helped me in my life. You know what I mean? And I know some people over the other side. There's really nice people over there. I just want to make that statement. There are some really nice people caught up in the middle. You know? And that's what hurts me the most about all of it. And I haven't said anything about it. But you won't see me, you know, doing, you know, I don't like the gossip, man. I don't even like getting into it. But there's people on both sides that I truly love that I've hung out with and have a really good time with, you know. But you know. So fun. I mean, this thing's looking interesting. Fun on MEXC. That's a cup and handle. Look for that higher low to blast. 3-day chart. Daily needs to come on down. So it might come down a little lower here first. I'm watching. I'm going to put an alert on it and keep it on my radar. A couple alerts. And the alert system that I created, putting a vertical on, like no one ever, like everyone uses all these crazy vertical like alerts, but I'm like, one day it hit me. I was like, well, price action goes to the right. I said, it's going to have to cross it. I said, and then I can take a measuring tool and I can hit shift, hold it down and move it. And it will tell me by bars, like when we're going to get somewhere. Like we'll get there in 25 days, you know. In 2 weeks, are we going to be up to the upside? You know, it's just interesting. So, I'm buying Sam a Ferrari when I make it. That'd be so cool, man. Yeah. Someone said best to stay neutral. I'm sorry, man. I've never been a neutral person. I'm not like that. I'm a real person. At one point, you have to stand for something. And I just stand for people that have been there for me. That's all. And anyone should respect me for that. If no one can respect me for that, then I don't know what to say. Then I have nothing. I have nothing to say. You know what I mean? And at the end of the day, I do stand with God. I believe God makes everything right here. And God tells me that, you know, that all is beginning to go where it needs to go. No way, measuring to hold shift. LOL, bro. Yeah, hold shift down, touch the screen, and then get a nice little measurement real quick for yourself. 48%. How many bars? How many days? get a number. Shout out to Crypto Billy in the house. Yeah. Where there's some people that are always on the sidelines, and at one point it's like, you know, at one point you gotta be the real deal, in my humble opinion. Bitcoin frog ribbit. Oh no. Anyway, so we're shorting BLZ all the way to the ground. After that massive pump up, we're taking it down on the 3-day chart. We don't care. We're not taking any prisoners. We're coming down to the 21. We're getting paid. It's going to take 2 weeks. 10/7, we're going to be back here on the 7th of October. And a lot of us are going to be sowing the money from this short. It's going to be ridiculous. All right. I can't fake the funk on my sleeve. Yep. Profit, baby. So many people are afraid to. Sam made me a changed person. Just being in the 99, I will forever have the lifers by me because you all give the possibilities of discipline, man. I love you, brother. Shout out to PS5, Future of Gaming. All right, everybody. Seeing a lot of different things out here tonight. It is 9/26. Beautiful night. The best entry for the short is to use smaller time frames, you know. So like the 1 hour here, you had a bearish div here, 1 hour dumps. There's the 1 hour, you know, you're looking for all types of patterns on the 1 hour time frame. This kind of has some descending triangle vibes. Like, see if this continues in a descending triangle. If it does, and the Stokes come back up tonight, and you got high Stokes and you're in the crosshairs, that's likely going to break down. You get your gap there, right? My stop can be somewhere, and then we can go from there. Just look for patterns that make sense, you know? Like once I knew the 3-day was high, we started finding the bearish div here. Then we see a shoulder, a head, and a right shoulder. Then it did in fact make a descending triangle. You can see, and it broke to the downside. Look at that. Sayonara, senorita. All right. Yeah. No, like there really is. That's what people don't realize, though. It is my business because something happened to me that that really offended me, that I never talked about. I'm not going to talk about it today. So a lot of you don't know what I know. So if you don't know what I know, then maybe you should not say anything. How about that? I love you, Tony, but you get what I mean? A lot of you guys don't know how deep you guys just don't know. So there you go. So I'm just going to leave it at that because I'm not going to go that far. You know what I mean? Anyway, so that's all I got to say. Honestly, if you knew how much I knew, but I don't, you know what I mean? Definitely, man. Definitely. Yeah. Anyway, stay blessed and stay loved. And I again, I love everybody and I want to see the best for everyone. But at the same time, I'm a family guy. And, you know, I'm just going to leave it there. I love you all. All right. Another thing, too, is here's another thing. This is the last thing I'm going to say on this. This is the last thing I'm going to say on it. All right. And maybe I'm probably going to be judged on it, and I don't need to be. But when you're a creator, man, and when you start a YouTube channel and you take the name and the day you make it, nobody knows about it but you. You become the first subscriber, right? And you got 1 subscriber. And, you know, now again, I launched my Sam Price YouTube channel, and that already got up to almost 500 subscribers before I even put out content. But that's different, right? I'm like spinning it off. But when you make your first channel ever by yourself and no one knows you, and then you get your first video, 100 views, 200 views, and then like a year goes, and it takes years. And anyone can say this, right? Let's be honest. When Ben started, Ben was alone, right? Am I right? Am I right here? I'm just asking a quick question. When Ben started, Ben was alone. Am I right? Am I right or wrong here? I'm asking one question to everybody out here. Now, I get when he grew, people felt like they had some ownership as it got bigger. And then that's when all the other stuff happened here. But at the end of the day, man, so me as a creator and everyone that's a creator out here and all the creators out here, right? You start as Sam, as my first video ever, right? And so like, I'm always going to be partial to the creator because I'm also, you know, not some people that got hired to work there and not some people that, because I was the creator, like, you know what I mean? Now I have a team of people and my team I feel like is so loyal. Like and I'm in control of my books. I'm the CEO. Let's make that really clear. Like I'm the CEO of my corporation. Like I'm not splitting shares. Like, you know, my you know, my paperwork is in order, you know, so, but the thing is, so I'm always going to be partial to the person who creates, right? The energy, the seed that grew the plant to grow, right? Like, you know, I don't know. That's how I look at it. So like, to me, it's kind of cut and dry. Like, you know what I mean? I don't know. Anyway. Let's take a look at sand. I haven't talked about sand in a while. Someone talking about sand. I haven't talked about sand in a long time. And apparently something's coming out tonight that's going to change the way a lot of, you know, that's, you know, there's a good build up there. But, hey, my wife might be tuning in right now. I don't know. But it gives you something to look forward to, doesn't it, for tonight? All right. And it's honestly not even, like, it's, to me, it's not even that funny. Like, it's, you know, it's, again, I keep saying I'm a family man, dude. You know, and of course, I wish none of that ever went down. Man, it's not good for the space. We need love and light. But, you know, for whatever reason, it had to happen. And, you know, I submitted to God. And so for whatever reason it had to happen, it is what it is. Sand kind of big at a shoulder, head, and right shoulder there. Interesting. Daily beat to the ground, though. Sand back at 30 cents. A project that I believe is going to be a big winner again. Very strong bullish div here. You know, it's basically stating that is likely going to be your bottom. So I would watch sand consolidate. If we can get a couple resets on the stochastic here without losing this low, look, shoulder, head, and a right shoulder there, there's a chance sand could break on out. And if it gets above this point of control at 29, which it did actually, yeah, it did. It can stay above that. I mean, there's a chance you could see sand back at 33. Again, it all depends on Bitcoin. Everything's kind of following Bitcoin a little bit. But I hadn't looked at sand in a long time. In a long, long time. He turned me into the lifer channel too. But Ben has, that came to light. Yep. Yeah, you can't judge anyone unless you walked a mile in their shoes, you know. It's a party night, over 10K guest invitation. I don't know what he was saying. So funny. Funny. Yeah, man, I just don't say negative things about people. I try not to, you know. That's all. If I have something horrible, negative to say, I just really won't say it, you know. Seriously, right, that whole saying, you know. If you can't say anything nice, don't say anything at all. You know why? Because the time I could spend saying negative about someone is the time I could be building someone up on this channel that needs it. This is for this channel is truly for the lost soul and for the people that have been found that help the next lost soul. Like, that's what this channel is about, and everybody knows it. Everybody knows you connected to me because one day you were watching the charts, but you heard my story. Or one day you heard me break down, or one day you connected, and that's when it got real for you. And I know that's why, because that's who I'm going for, and that's who I've been getting. That's who I take these one-on-ones with. That's who I see jumping in on the gain section. That's who I see writing me DMs saying thank you so much with gratitude. That's who I see writing testimonials. That's the type of person I see hanging out in the Lifer group. A grateful, beautiful, understanding, loving person. that wants to better themselves and that has been through so much, they just don't want to do it anymore. And they finally want to be away from the nonsense, away from the BS, and they want a place where they can learn, they can focus, and they can truly grow and get to another level. And they want some love while they're there. You know what I mean? Why not? Why can't it be a great place with love? Why can't it feel awesome? And so that's, to me, what this whole entire movement that I'm making is about. That's what this whole group is about. Like, everyone pushes trading group. And yes, it's a trading group. But I believe if your mentality is not there, you will not make the greatest trades. And, you know, Saturday night's the one night we can get away from the market slightly and talk about life, right? And so I always try to incorporate Saturday night into a funner live stream that has just a little more going for it. We talked about Merit Circle. You know, I wanted it to break here, come down, but it came out and retested, and then it was breaking out. But I went over this. I talked about it. It retested right into the golden pocket, 618, and then it was gone for gains. Coming back down now, let's take a look. Is there more coming out of Merit Circle? It's got the support, resistance. It's kind of flagging right back at a previous support and resistance level. Does it go continuous all the way back down to possibly what's called the POC? I'll put an alert right there for that buy zone. 22 is getting oversold. There could be some more coming out of Merit Circle on my radar. Yeah. Love your passion. It motivates me. Shout out to Elvis. We love you too. Thank you. And shout out to everybody here. If you want to trade with us, trade on MEXC Global. I'm telling you right now, it is the place to trade. And you saw me, I gobbled the whole Bitcoin without having to pay a bunch of fees. If you do that alone, if that's all you do, I think it's amazing. But it also has futures that are really fun. You can just drag your stop loss up. I really like their futures. I've never had an issue with the futures. I'm sure up and down, there's spreads and stuff like that. I personally have never had an issue on a trade, calculation, any of that. Everything has always been spot on. So, again, I didn't think I would say that, but I would tell you, hey, one day I didn't know. Everything has been spot on for me. Thank you. God bless you, brother. So join the trading group right here, or jump into MEXC today, or please, do all three, which I would love. Join the Facebook group. Also, we have a awesome newsletter that goes out every week, and jump on into that, please, because you never know what could happen. I want to have connections with you guys. I want to have your emails. Sam, I love you, man. You work so hard. The fact that you tell how hard you work for this channel, just want to say I love and live with you on the live streams on YouTube and the Discords. Thank you, Sam. Shout out to Satoshi Love. Thank you. It's up to us to spread the passion of Christ to the world, not the preachers. We are the change. Amen. Amen. And look, I've been looking at High Street on that little flag. It got another pump to the upside, right? Now going sideways, high starting to consolidate. I got an alert on this thing, the 22-hour. I wouldn't be surprised if this thing gets busy. Got a bit of a symmetrical triangle there. These are smaller cap gems. These are smaller cap gems that won't be as reliant on what Bitcoin does. You know, these coins could just, sideways Bitcoin for these is great. It gets above this high volume node, it can gap up. I'd watch this thing. This thing is ready for a move. I got an alert on High Street. We already took it for one quick little 7% scalp. So it paid us and stayed in the positive. High Street on the radar. I have no idea what it is. I don't know who made it. I know nothing about the fundamentals. I am just a chartist guy looking at the charts. I do not get paid to talk about coins. If someone came up to me and say, hey, I would say no way. We don't do coin reviews here. We don't go over projects here. The only thing I do is talk about my own affiliate links, right? And sponsors of the channel, like ITrust Capital, which is an IRA that you could open up today, or a Roth IRA. Check it out. It's amazing. ITrust Capital today. It's awesome. And you won't be able to get the benefits you get from there from almost any other company in the world. So top-notch service, top-notch people, top-notch tech, and really just what you need if you're going to grow, a long-term investment portfolio in cryptocurrency. So I'm looking at High Street. Looks very likely for a big pump, possibly later on tonight or into tomorrow. ACH finally came back down to a very low Fibonacci level, the 886. Does it finally break back up? Look for it to pump out above this resistance level at 1701 and get above the 200 SMA. Then looks like it could continue to pump. Right. Anyway, let's jump back into the chat. How is the chat doing on this Saturday night? Metaverse, I believe. Amen, Peter. God sent his only begotten son. Remember that. Aster, Mr. Lifer, you gave the call. Sammy, cup and handy. Amen. Share a relationship with a higher power with the faithless and misguided. Yo, God changed my life, everybody. I'll tell you that right now. I was alone. My channel got taken. I felt like there was nothing left. I had worked so hard at so many businesses. I was 36 years old. I thought I was going to be a millionaire by now. I was on my way at my crypto, but I figured I was going to be like worth 50 mil by then and owning real estate, travel in the world. And I said, what happened? Where did I go wrong? And next thing you know, everything opened up and it's really started to move. And with that big bull run, trades went well. I talked about cake at 60 cents. People saw me, 50x it live on my channel. Like people, you have to remember, there's a lot of other channels where a guy's like a trader or something, and then he starts a trading school, or I didn't do that. Like that's what people don't realize here. Like this was self-made by the universe. Like I showed up on the world to the live stream and just started picking coins out the blue, like boom, boom, boom. And I was like, I'm gonna throw a couple grand in this and do that. And like the things I was picking were exploding. And people started being like, this guy's got a knack for this. And it got out of control. Next thing you know, the trading group was free. It was like people were just like, this dude is. Then I got better and better at it. Then I started looking. Then I got scanners. Then I got a team. And now we're here. It's like this all kind of happened because I was just so passionate about it, and we were doing good. And I was calling Bitcoin when it was back at 6K, going up to 27,000. You see what I mean? I was calling when Link was $1.78. I was calling it to go to $20. When Atom was $3, I was saying you're going to see a $20 Atom. I mean, I got into Cardano at 2 cents. I got back in at 8. I got in again at 8 and 0.6 cents. I got into Aave at like $80 and rode it to 500. I got into EGLD at $25, rode it to 560. That's a 25x. I got into Phantom in front of everyone at 19 and 20 cents. I explained that it was going to go fast. I figured out how PancakeSwap worked. Realized that Uniswap wasn't the go-to. I got into BNB at $1 and $30. I got into KuCoin shares when it was $1. I knew about Ethereum when it was $9. I was told about Bitcoin when it was $300. Like, dude, I was speculating even before I got into cryptocurrency. I was buying silver and gold bars. Like, I did not get here by accident. And when I make 100 mil, it will not be an accident. I'm telling you right now, it is what I was destined to do. And once we get that we're going to be able to change the world because we're going to be able to move at the speed of light. Go where we want. Do what we want, Yeah, I bought my first building of real estate. I told my team exactly how I got it done. I give you guys examples in my trading group. I talked about the down payment. I talked about why the interest rate. I talked about the entire, how it happened. I was supposed to put less, then I ended up putting more. I took them through the whole thing. I took them through how we had to wait for the closing when the closing happened. I talked about the cash flow, how long it will take to reinvest. I broke it all down. You know what I know? Now I can feed 7 dogs, have a home, and trade for a living. Hey, God bless you, man. 100x Safe Moon live on the live stream. We got to keep reminding him. 100x Safe Moon on the live stream. Sam being humble. He's going to $1 billion easy. Shout out to Crypto Billy, man. Just scalp Bitcoin on the 1 minute live, Sammy. Knowledge all day, baby. Let's take a look at what you did. Let me see if I can find out what you did just by looking at the chart. It's kind of fun for me. So you're on the 1 minute. Oh, you took this little punch up, huh? Okay. Wow, liquidity's so weird for the 1 minute to be that wiggly wobbly. The spread's just whack, even on Binance today. Double bottom though, I guess you played in this little falling wedge back up. Also, that old, the thing that we teach is the divergence away from the 21, and you pump back up to the 200 SMA. This is that little thing that I teach. Get the divergence, you pump back up. Crazy. I see sideways price action. I believe when I come tomorrow morning, we're just going to be even more sideways again. The calm before the storm for the weekly candle close. I do got a short here. I'd be more short than long, but look, now the 1 hour wants to push to the upside, so I would not open the short yet. I would wait on the short. I'd wait for a double top here. If this comes in double tops, boom, that would be the short entry. So I wouldn't enter the short yet. Stochastics are too high for me, too low for me. And pointing up, I'm a stochastic guy. When those are low, I don't short. I long when those are low. So that tells me that the 1 hour could give you a nice little scalp to the upside, possibly back up to 26,627. Not huge, but it is more bullish than bearish. Look at that nice curvature on the 1 hour time frame. So we'll see. It could also just slump up right. And look, we have a shoulder, a head. So look, you're looking for the M pattern here tonight to enter the short. Or you're also looking for this to have a confirmed shoulder, head, and a right shoulder. Look for these two things. This area looks like a great shorting area if we get resistance. Also 26.6 if we can't stay above it, right? So I do see a short more likely than a long, but I also see lack of volume in sideways price action. But if I had to make a call on it, I would call short. Once we go below this POC, once we lose, 25.5, it's likely dropping even lower too, so. Everyone, I'm going to jump out for the night. Thank you so much for being here. 9:46 p.m. May God bless each and every one of you for being with us. Let me take a look at the fan funding and break it down in case there's a super chat I may have missed. Can we have over Bitcoin, please? God bless you. Thank you. This guy always asks every time, this master friend guy. Shout out to Jason Riggs. Can you check Ant USD oversold in most time frames far away from the 21? Ready for a short for the lifers. Thank God. Thanks, lifers. Let's go. Shout out to Jason Riggs. God bless you, Jason, for being here with us. Bone, we looked at TUSD, we looked at. We got the book of the day. What indicator we use to enter BLZ 3-day. We talked about that as well. Big love. We looked at AGIX. Okay. And shout out to all the super chats. Shout out to all the members. People jumping on and becoming members. Shout out to the $34 in chat revenue. 304 people. 250 likes. Let's get the likes up to the watchers. I would greatly appreciate it. Everyone, thank you so much for being here. Thank you for throwing it down. And let's also look at the news. My team does give me news on a Saturday night. There could be something brewing. Actually, there's some cool stuff actually coming out the last couple days. Microsoft news has really got a lot of people bugging, because they're such a major player in the tech space that for them to make, headway, and for Xbox to have crypto wallets, I think that's a big deal. That's mass adoption right there. Really fast. New report dives in the good, the bad, and the ugly side of Friend.Tech. Friend.Tech is one of the hottest things to happen in the crypto in the past 2 months. In relatively short time of its existence, the decentralized social media app has been through ups and downs, from averaging trading fees rivaling top cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin to being labeled dead just a few weeks after launch. I think it's going to be hot. I think it's worth jumping into. I knew when it came out that you want to do everything new. Anything that new that comes out, you want to do it. And 10 other things will fall off, but the 10 things that you didn't, you'll be there, you'll be first, and then you'll be established. So you want to do everything new, everyone. Anything you can. The fact that I'm not on Friend Tech is weird. I should be on it by now. Depends on how users can bet on profile shares that can potentially turn a profit. Data has shown that the platform has actually turned a profit for the majority of its user base. A large number of wallets have earned between $0 to $100 on Friend Tech, and 684 wallets in the higher end, 10 to 100,000 in earnings. On the other hand, 9 wallets have lost more than 100,000. Friend.Tech's growth has exceeded other decentralized social media platforms, and its current success shows how quickly a crypto product can penetrate the market when there's a strong market fit. The decentralized social media app has demonstrated its potential for gains, but this ultimately boils down to each user's investment decision. Interesting. If someone can please fill me in on how is Friend.Tech not as clear as day Ponzi. You buy, and if more people buy that group, it goes up. The only way to appreciate is more people coming in with the inevitability of a load of a bag holders. What am I missing? Friend.Tech adds an exciting layer that notably fueling its popularity by fusing engagement and investment opportunities as a number of participants in the, funny. And they put that out there by the chart guys. Shout out to Dan at the chart guys, man. He was on Sin City Crypto. I'm sure one day I'll get to meet him as well. Crypto hiring. Galaxy Digital doubles down on Europe with new C-suite hire. There were a fair number of high-profile departures this week, with exits at the BCB Group, Square, and Near Foundation. But there's a lot to catch up on. Galaxy Digital appointed Leon Marshall, CFO Crypto, about 5 months ago. I mean, that's Mike Novogratz. He don't play. CEO, call Europe a region that is critically important to our growth strategy. Of course it is. Amsterdam, all that. And they're going to continue to grow. Mike doesn't play. Mike's a winner. He's a billionaire, Goldman Sachs trader. He's going to win again. 5-10 years from now, you'll see Mike winning. He got into Ethereum when it was very, very cheap. Bitcoin at $300 or less. Like, the guy doesn't play. He's actually kind of, I'll be honest, and some people may or may not like this, but, you know, and I don't know every single thing about him, so maybe I shouldn't say it, but I aspired to be a billionaire trader. He's the person that I put on a wall in my mind, like Mike Novogratz. Like, you know, when I'm 55, 60 years old, like, you know, I'm going to be Sam Price, of course, but I want to have that Riz, that Novogratz Riz, you know, that Mike Novogratz, like, you know what I mean? Like, everyone knows I'm a billionaire trader, you know, and that study world markets, and, you know, I go on Fox News and Fox Business, I go on CNBC, whatever we'll go on X.com. We won't even go on these garbage ass news platforms anymore. These garbage platforms, excuse my language. But we won't go on these garbage platforms. We'll only go on Twitter and, you know, open platforms. But, you know, and I didn't mean to say, you know, I don't want to be political. I'm just saying I'll go on TV, right, and be able to get in, you know, talk as others depart. The U.S. CoinShares expands via new hedge fund unit. Wow. CoinShares, Europe-based CoinShares, has launched a hedge fund division as part of its expansion in the U.S. Awesome. The expansion marks the first time crypto investment firm will make its products available to qualified American investors through CoinShares itself. Isn't new to the hedge fund space. That's awesome, right? So now there's going to be a hedge fund in the U.S. open to people as other, you know, that's going to be awesome. So everyone, I love you all. I'm jumping out of here for the night. That is the news. I'll see you tomorrow morning for our quick update and then for Bitcoin in the weekly candle close. May God bless each and every one of you for jumping on in, and I appreciate you all for being here. We actually have some possible gainers that I've put out, and if you had to leave early, we do have them all linked below. Shout out to everybody here. Thank you so much for your time, and I'll see you tomorrow for another beautiful live stream. This is Saturday night. I'm the Crypto Lifer. Over and out. God bless you all. Thank you so much. Be safe. If you're in the trading group, look for what I said for Bitcoin here. Really not much more to say. This is your 10 o'clock update until I come back tomorrow morning. God bless everybody, and thank you so much. Have a big sip of that lemon water. Stay hydrated. And I'll see you on the next live stream. Thank you so much. God bless you all. Namaste, baby.